You watch another video, save another quote, buy another book, follow another creator. You don't even remember who you followed, but it felt productive at the time. Not because you're confused, not because you don't care, but because something still feels off. And even after you understand the problem, even after the explanation makes sense, even after you nod along thinking, yeah, that's me, you keep searching. If you've ever wondered why that is, this video isn't here to give you the missing answer, but it will explain why you can't stop looking for one. Because what's happening isn't ignorance, it's restlessness. Most advice assumes that when people keep consuming information, it's because they're lost. That they don't know enough yet, that they're missing the key insight, that clarity is just one more video away. But I don't think that's true anymore. We live in a world where information is infinite. Advice is constant, insight is instantly available, and yet stillness feels uncomfortable. So we internalize this belief without ever saying it out loud. If I don't feel better yet, I must not have the right answer. And that belief quietly keeps us searching. I'll understand something, close the video, and then immediately open another one. Not because the first one was bad, but because the feeling I wanted already started fading. And I want to be clear, this video isn't about self-help culture, it's not about attention fragmentation, or productivity, or habits. This is about seeking behavior, the act of searching itself. Because what's interesting isn't what we're looking for, it's why even after we understand the problem, we still don't stop. For a long time, I thought seeking answers was a sign of growth, curiosity, self-awareness, wanting to improve, and sometimes it is, but lately I've started noticing something else. I'll understand an idea, really understand it, and instead of sitting with it, instead of letting it change how I live, I'll move on to the next explanation. Another perspective, another insight, another angle. Not because the first one was wrong, but because the feeling I was chasing had already faded. And I realized I wasn't seeking truth, I was seeking relief. Seeking has become a coping mechanism, not for ignorance, for discomfort. We seek answers to avoid sitting with uncertainty, committing to a direction, feeling bored, feeling incomplete. Accepting that change is slow and ordinary. Consuming insight feels like motion. It's like walking really fast on a treadmill and being shocked you're still in the same room. There's a loop that plays out for a lot of us. You feel unsettled, not terrible, just off, so you look for an explanation. You watch a video, read an article, hear something that clicks, and for a moment you feel relief. Oh, that makes sense. You nod along, maybe you even save it, and then you go back to doing exactly what you were doing before. You don't integrate it, you don't let it settle, and eventually the feeling comes back, so you seek again. Not because the insight was wrong, but because the relief came from clarity, not change. And clarity is fast, clean, satisfying, and addictive. The problem is clarity doesn't last. Because clarity isn't transformation, it's a feeling. And feelings fade. So we confuse the temporary relief of understanding with actual progress. And when the feeling wears off, we assume the answer wasn't deep enough. So we keep searching. We're living in a culture that rewards consumption, not integration. We're great at collecting ideas, terrible at giving them room to work. I've got notes saved that I've never looked at again, highlights I was convinced would change my life. They're just sitting there, like a museum of good intentions. We move so quickly from insight to insight that nothing ever has time to change us. And stillness, actual stillness, starts to feel wrong, like we're falling behind. I've noticed this most clearly when I already know what to do. Not in theory, in practice. When the answer is boring, obvious, or unsexy. Like getting enough sleep or not checking my phone first thing. Which is easy to agree with and incredibly hard to do when your phone is already in your hand. Or doing less instead of optimizing more. Those answers don't create a rush, they don't feel like progress, so my brain goes looking for something new, something sharper, something that feels like motion, and once you start this pattern, you start noticing it everywhere, even in the tools we use to make our lives better. Now, this is the part where a lot of videos would give you a system, a framework, a challenge, a plan. This one won't. Because I don't think what's missing is another answer, I think what's missing is space. Space feels uncomfortable, quiet feels unproductive, and sitting with an idea without replacing it feels weird. Space for the answers you already have to actually do something. This video isn't offering a solution, it's offering permission. Permission to stop consuming, to stop searching, to stop assuming you're behind. Permission to trust that understanding something once might be enough. And that repeating it, living it, might be where the work actually is. What if the reason nothing sticks isn't because the insight wasn't good, but because it never had a chance to settle? What if the discomfort you're trying to escape is the exact space where change happens? Not through intensity, not through novelty, but through repetition, through boredom, through doing the obvious thing again tomorrow. We've trained ourselves to believe that progress feels like movement. But some of the most meaningful changes in life feel quiet, uneventful, almost disappointing. They don't announce themselves. They just slowly replace old patterns when we stop overwriting them with new ones. So if you've been asking yourself lately, what am I missing? I want to offer a different question. What if you already know enough? What if the answer you're looking for isn't another insight, but finally giving the ones you already have enough room to work? That might not feel satisfying right away, but it might be exactly what you've been searching for. So maybe tonight, instead of opening another tab, playing another video, or saving another note, you just let the last idea sit there, unfinished, unoptimized, and see what happens.